Welcome back, dear students. When I tell iteration, what is iteration is, it is the ability to run a block of statements repeatedly. Like say for example, when we start the loop executing, if we execute it once, that we call it as a first iteration. When we repeat it once again, that is called as a second iteration. Like that, there can be n number of iterations. Even there can be a loop where the number of iterations can be infinity. But these repetitions to happen or to stop, we should reassign. There is one variable called iteration variable, which we are going to see it later. That variable has to be reassigned to stop the iteration again and again inside the loop. For that purpose, we require a reassignment. And it is legal to make more than one assignment to the same variable. Like say for example, here I'll show this. Here, if I make now x is equal to 5, the x has a value which is 5. This is first assignment. I have assigned 5 to x. Means obviously the x is holding integer. Now if I type x, what I get? It is 5. I want to reassign some other value to x. Let us consider now. I'll make x is equal to 7. Now earlier x was holding a value 5. Now x should hold the value 7. If I type now x, what I get? It is 7. See, in both the cases, I have assigned integer. In case of Python, we can assign any data type. That's the advantage. Like say for example, now x is equal to, say I'll assign VTU. Enter. Now if I type x, what I get is VTU. Even I can assign anything, even floating point number, like say 45.67. Now if I type x, it is 45.67. Means once we reassign, the variable is going to point to the new value and it will discard the old one. That's what. Coming back to the slides now, say here, if you see, a new assignment makes an existing variable refer to a new value and it will stop referring to the old one. So earlier x was 5, it was pointing to 5, and later when I made it 7, it was pointing to 7. Okay, this is what we can see that pictorial here. Earlier x was pointing to 5. When we reassigned, x is pointing to 7. The link to 5 is discarded and x will point to 7. A statement like a is equal to b as a mathematical proposition of equality, that is that a and b are equal, but interpretation is wrong. See, if you are, that's what, even you know this. Here a is not equal to b. Instead, here we are assigning a value of b to a. The first equality is a symmetric relationship and the assignment is not. For example, in mathematics, if a is equal to 7, even 7 is equal to a. Whereas in case of Python, a is equal to 7 is legal, but 7 is equal to a is not. Because a is, if you remember, once I had told, every variable will be having two values. One is R value, means read value, and another one is location value. It's called as L value. Okay, say whatever the left hand side of say assignment operator will be there should be a location value. It means there should be a variable. Whereas 7 is not a variable, it is a value, or it's called as a literal. We can assign literal to a variable, but we cannot assign a variable to a literal. Now, in mathematics, a proposition of equality is either true or false all the time. Like if a is equal to b, now say a will always equal b. In Python, an assignment statement can make two variables equal, but they don't have to stay what way. Means like say here, if we see a is equal to 5, b is equal to a and b now equal. But see, because a is equal to 5, I have assigned a value to b, a and b now both are equal. But when I make a is equal to 3, I have just assigned, reassigned 3 to a, whereas b is still 5. Because of that, say making a is equal to b doesn't mean that say both are equal. The third line changes, means this line is going to change the value of a but doesn't change the value of b. Okay, I hope say you will understand this in case of reassignment. What I was telling is this: updating variables. A common kind of reassignment is an update. Means reassignment, why do we reassign is for update, where the new value of a variable depends on the old one. Like say for example, if we see x is equal to x plus 1, here we are updating a variable using reassignment. Earlier x value will be taken, 1 will be added to that, and the new value will be reassigned to x. This we call it as updating variables. This means get a current value of x, add 1, and then update x with a new value. If we try to update a variable that doesn't exist, we get an error because Python evaluates the right side before it assigns a value to x. Let's say I'll show you this with an example. Going back to the terminal, now here let's say y is equal to y plus 1. See, this is what you are getting a error. Name error means y is not defined. Whereas if I type say x is equal to x plus 1, you are not getting any error because x has been updated. Earlier x value was I don't remember, say it's I think the last value that we had assigned is 45.67. Now x is 46.67, means to that 1 is added and updated value is reassigned. So remember, first the right hand side will be evaluated and the result of that expression will be assigned to the left hand side. You had got name error, say when the value was, means the variable was not existing. Before we can update a variable, we have to initialize it usually with a simple statement like x is equal to 0. If at all you don't want any value like say other than 0, you can make it x is equal to 0 and later you can update. Obviously after updating, the value of x will be 1. Okay, and even similarly this we call it as increment, and similarly you can subtract a 1 from the existing value, that we call it as a decrement. Say most of the time in iteration or looping we are going to use this updation of variable, either increment or decrement. Okay, and remember one thing, in case of Python we don't have a increment and decrement operator as in case of C. In case of C, say we have plus plus operator for increment and minus minus operator for decrement. Whereas in case of Python, say for increment we are supposed to go for like something like this, like x is equal to x plus 1. For decrement, x is equal to x minus 1. Keep this in mind. Now, say with this, say we'll move on to first looping statement, that is while loop. See, computers are often used to automate a repetitive task. If you remember, while discussing during introduction class, I had told why we need to go for programming, because we people, means we human beings, are lazy to do the repetitive task, and to do such repetitive task we want some machine, and to get work done by some machine, say we should do the programming. Means we are going to use computer for automated repetitive task. Repeating identical or similar task without making error is something that computers do well and people do poorly. That's what, even this also we discussed during introduction class, if you remember properly. Okay, so we people say again and again doing the same thing, we'll get bored, and say moreover, so we may do some mistakes, but computers do that 100% without making any mistakes. Okay, computers are best in doing repetitive tasks. Okay, so in a computer program, repetition is also called iteration. So as I discussed today in class. Okay, a countdown that uses a while statement. Like say here, if we see there is a function written. Remember now, def is a keyword in Python. So it is used to define a function. Here countdown is a name of a function and n is a parameter. And after the colon, whatever we write, it should be indented, means it should be inside this. Okay, so there should be some tab, as you know. So while n value, whatever the value it's been supplied to n, if it is greater than 0, means while n is greater than 0, after the while there is a colon, means after the condition, print n, means if n is greater than 0, print n. Okay, say later I am decrementing the value of n, like n is equal to n minus 1. Once n will, see n, if n is greater than 0, well and good, it will print the value of n and n will be decremented. Every time when the n is decremented, say when n will become less than or equal to 0, it will come out of this loop and it will print stop. Before I proceed further, let us see this. I'll write a simple Python script vi. I'm going to use a vi editor test.py. Say what I do is, it's a very simple thing. I'll take a sum n and I'll make it 5 while n is greater than 0, then colon, then we should make a proper indentation, and here what I do is I'm going to print n, and here n is equal to n minus 1. I'll update a value. Means update is nothing but, don't think that update is nothing but increasing. Update is nothing but changing the value. I have updated a value, means I decremented a value by 1, and afterwards once it will come out of loop, I'll print stop. Let me save this and execute. To execute this, I'll use Python 3 as an interpreter, Python 3 test.py. So now what you expect? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and stop. Means earlier n5 it printed and later n decremented, then 4, 3. But remember one thing, say all the time, see here, earlier n was 5, it will check while n is greater than 0. This is a condition. It will check the condition whether n is greater than 0. If n is greater than 0, then it will print the value of n, decrement the n, and later it will go back. This is only the loop. Only this is loop. Print stop, it's not under loop. Once n is decremented, like say when it will print 5, it will decrement, it will become 4, and 4 is greater than 0. It is true. It will print 4. Say decrement, it will become 3. 3 is greater than 0, so on. Like consider that n is 1, it will print n, say n is decremented, now it will become 0. 0 is not greater than 0, the condition will become false and it will come out and print stop. So this is, I didn't use a function here, but without using a function, I just shown a while loop. If at all you want some function even, so I can write a function so that you can understand that. Like say here, so let me edit this itself, like def, it is to write a function, define a function. I'll define it as a countdown and I'll supply n here. Now I don't reassign, this is a function. So now look at this. So this is a function now. This, everything should be inside this. Oh, one more thing is, after function definition, you should add colon. Keep this in mind. Say countdown is a function name which accepts a some value. If that value is greater than 0, then print that value, decrement that and repeat it till that value is greater than 0. Once it is 0, it will come out and print the stop and say it will return. Okay. So this is the end of the function, and here I am going to write the program. Like say, I will tell the user, like say n is equal something like num is equal to whatever the value will be there. I'll just convert that to integer input and I'll tell the user to enter an integer. This value I'll supply. I'll call that countdown of n. Let's see. So I hope this is clear. This is function which I have written countdown, and here I am getting the value. Actually, remember one thing, the program execution will start with this line. So not with the first. This is a function definition. The program will start with this line. First, the program will execute this statement. It will read a number that is entered through a keyboard and that will be converted to int and it is stored in num. And okay, here not n, instead of that it is num. Okay, countdown num. Let us see. Escape. Say shift call W2. Now I have saved it and now I'll execute this. Enter. Look at this. Enter an integer. Now I'll enter an integer, say 3. It should print 3 to 1. Let's see. Enter. See, 3 to 1 and stop. Once again I'll repeat it. Say now this time I'll enter, say for example 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. So even let's see, if I enter, say for example 1, what will happen? If I enter 1, what will happen? 1, stop. And if I enter 0 only, nothing is printed, directly stop. Because 0 is not greater than 0. While n is greater than 0, if n is 0, 0 is not greater than 0, obviously it has not printed anything, directly stop. I hope this program is clear. The more formally here is the flow of execution for a while statement. determine whether the condition is true or false. So remember, in these 3 steps, the while loop is executed. In first step, it will going to check whether the condition is true or false. That's what. While n is greater than 0, that's a condition. It will going to determine whether that condition is true or false. If that condition is true, then only the loop is executed. Otherwise, no. So then only it will enters into the loop. If the condition is false, it will not enter into the loop. It will execute those statements after the loop if there are any statements. If false, exit the while statement and continue execution at the next statement, means after the while loop. If the condition is true, run the body and then go back to the step 1. Means body means how many statements are there inside the while loop. All the statements will be executed, and after executing the last statement in a while loop, it will go back to the step 1. And in step 1, once again it will check the condition. If it is true, once again continues with the body. Otherwise, it will come out of the body and executes after the statements after the while loop. This type of flow is called a loop because it is repeated. Why we call this as a loop? So from the third step, it will go back to step 1. The body of loop should change the value of one or more variables so that the condition becomes false eventually and loop terminates. This is very important. If at all you want a loop to be terminated, there should be one or more variables which will make that condition inside the while loop false. If the condition inside the while loop doesn't become false, obviously what will happen? The loop will go in infinite. It will start executing again and again. So such loop, we call it as a forever loop, or it's also called as a infinite loop. So one example I'll show you. Say for example, here itself, the same program I will make it infinite loop. Here n value is there, no? Okay, I'll do like this. M is equal to some 0. One more variable I have taken. And instead of here updating n, I'll just update m value. M is equal to m minus 1, something like this. And m, let us make it 0 or anything. Even say for example 10. Doesn't make any difference. Okay, let us see what will be the program. See, what I have done is I have taken one more variable called m, which I have assigned it to a value 10. But whereas I am checking here the n value. Okay, and what I have updating is m value I am updating. Okay, so let's see what will be the output for this. Okay, save, execute. Now I'll enter 3. What I expect is it should print 3 to 1, but see, you can see it is printing 3, 3, 3, 3 continuously. It is printing. It is going in infinite loop. We cannot stop. Okay, to stop you press Ctrl C here. It will, now it has stopped. Okay, say it will go in infinite loop. Okay, so just to stop it, I terminated it forcibly. Okay, so that's what here, because there is no means to make this condition false. When I have entered n is 3 will remain always greater than 0. What I am updating is some other variable which is not there in a condition. Say to make this loop to terminate, you should update. There should be a means to update that variable. Eventually, the condition should become false. Hope this is clear to you, dear students. Thank you. Thank you for watching.